I'm gonna turn the master volume down on this game because people want to hear you. They're here to hear you.
They're here. Yeah, I'm the featured guest.
You're the talent.
I'm the talent.
And,
You're the talent.
Oh hey, people in the chat room are saying a person in the chat room is saying that they can hear us and that things sound good.
They could hear me?
Apparently.
What?
I'm getting Steam messages from a jealous cousin of yours.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the jealous type.
I don't know how much I'm actually turning.
Well, I'm glad that they can hear me already. I didn't realize that I was going to be broad. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, we're putting this out over the internet.
Yeah. In my head I was like, you're going to edit it, you're going to mail it out individually.
Well, yeah, so I have a club where we will I send out VHS tapes of each of my streams.
Wait, someone says half-empty energy tank sounds like one of us sounds like we're on a phone.
That's probably me. That's probably my shitty headset mic. If you listen to any of my other streams, that is probably how I sound like on those.
Phil,
and
I'm a freshly blown pane of glass, and you are a windscreen.
Well, yes, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about how I sound.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing entirely.
I wasn't being metaphorical. I was being literal. These are what we are.
Yes.
That we can talk is a miracle.
No, I apologize for that, guys. I'm actually I have plans in the working to get a new mic very soon, but I just bought a new monitor to help make streaming easier. So first I am
Phil, I don't know how rich you are, but I do recommend, and I'm not being paid for this, wink, Behringer, the Behringer line of professional consumer microphones.
Are you sure you're not being paid for that?
I'm sure, wink. I'm not being paid, wink.
So I started off this stream by blowing up a grenade in my hand.
Don't do that.
Just to show you guys how that's done.
Just so you know how far back I am, you only just now blew the grenade up.
Cool. Well, that's a pro tactic that I was just showing you.
Just so that you could show off the nice med kits, or the meds, or the syringes.
So this Far Cry 3, this is a pretty game, and extra pretty on PC, I feel. I'm only a couple of hours in, but
I love this game.
This game's great,
I fucking love it.
I'm pulling up the map just so you can see how many things there are to do.
There's so many things. There's like a bunch of stuff. To be fair, a lot of that, since you don't have it uncovered, is water that you can't do anything with. But
most of it, let's say.
Yeah, but all the stuff where they're like little icons, all that stuff is playable area, and there's a shit ton of it.
Let's go to this radio tower. That's what I want to do right now.
Yeah, I've played way more. I haven't. Let's say that I have not beaten this game, but I've put way more hours into it than the average completion time because of all the side stuff that I did, like hunting pigs and hunting goats, hunting sharks. You can hunt sharks in this game.
I've killed a lot of sharks already.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think I should probably kill this guy, right?
Yeah, you should probably. If you see a dude and it lets you shoot that guy, then shooting them is usually the best thing to do.
So, and then you can skin them. So this is why I like having you on, Keith. You talk about how good the games are. When I have your cousin on, all he does is he complains about gun.
He's a very negative guy.
Yeah.
Kyle is a very negative guy.
Always complaining about gun.
Yeah, and we're here playing Far Cry 3. I've got nothing but good things to say. You guys are playing Raccoon City. I heard nothing but negative things out of that guy.
Yeah, I just killed myself. Well,
I like that I haven't seen you kill yourself yet, so I have no idea how it happened. Oh, there you go, jumping off a cliff.
Yep.
Okay.
To be fair, good way to go.
Yeah, that's a solid way. 8 people every 2 weeks jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a very popular way to do it. It's a very popular way to die.
I'm in San Francisco. It's not far.
By the way, that is true. They do measure it by every 2 weeks. I don't know why it's not 4.
How many people is it?
8 people every 2 weeks.
Haven't they implemented lots of ways to stop people from doing that?
They have, and 8 people every 2 weeks still jump off of the Golden Gate.
Still manage that? That's crazy to me.
It's very distressing to me that many people are attempting suicide in that one area every 2 weeks. But even more distressing is that they cannot do the math and simplify that down to 4 people a week.
That's the part that really gets you.
That really gets my goat.
Yeah, it's not the people taking their life.
No, it's not that, because I don't know those people and I'm not empathetic. But what else gets my goat is how many goats there are to kill in this game, and it's great. That's the positive get my goat.
You get the game's goat.
Killing goats gets my goat off. I don't know. I don't know.
It all makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's you're just swimming right here.
Oh god.
I have not just swam in this game because I'm fucking petrified of running into a shark.
That just happened.
Yeah. See? Why did you do that? Have you ran into an alligator yet?
A couple of times.
I went like 15 hours in this game without running into an alligator.
I don't know if it was an alligator or if it was a Komodo dragon. I get those mixed up.
It was during the marathon that we did, and I was like, because I was showing Kyle, because he was convinced that this game was going to suck and that he wouldn't like it, so we played it on the stream so that I could prove to him that it was an awesome game.
Just another example of Kyle just being negative.
Just being a negative Nelly.
Yeah.
You know what? Negative Nancy. Fuck him.
Both.
He's a negative Nelly Nancy.
I think it's weird how that shark swam by, bit my arm once, and then just fucked off. He was like, I don't care.
How badass it was that you can just be attacked by random encounter sharks is kind of lessened by how unthreatening the sharks are. Whoa! Look at that. That was awesome. The cougar.
I'm alive. I didn't
You're
die.
barely. What was I? Oh yeah. So, and I was just running down the river, and like in the middle of me explaining how cool the wildlife and stuff is, just leg bit off by an alligator. It was the coolest.
Duder McBrohan in the chat room says the shark probably saw my sick tat and did not want to mess with me.
It's a pretty sick tat. It's like tribal, and it really means a lot to you. By the way, this game is interesting in that I really like a lot of the story, and I really like the gameplay and the tone of the game. I cannot fucking stand the main character or any of his friends. It's the only game.
They're the worst.
It's the only game that I like where every time the main character opens his mouth, I'm like, dude, shut up. I hate you.
So I haven't played a ton of the story, but I just did the mission, the first mission where you go in a mushroom cave. That was pretty awesome.
That's super awesome, right? Yeah, a lot of that stuff. And I'm at the part of the game. Again, I haven't finished it, but I did so much side stuff that I've put over 20 hours into it. I got to a part in the game where people were like, there's this terrible fucking boss, and I beat the boss, and I actually did not think it was terrible. I thought it was kind of fun. But they were like, yeah, the story starts to unravel.
It was probably Kyle saying these things, let's be honest.
It was, no. Oh, you know where I heard it? I heard it on the Besties podcast is where I heard it.
I don't know what those guys are talking about. But,
I don't know.
They're almost as bad as Kyle.
They're
almost.
I'm not going to say it's not a weird show, but I still listen to it every week.
I feel like Kyle is probably really angry at me now.
Maybe.
I still love you. I still love you, Kyle.
I don't love him, but like I get it.
You just keep sending me Steam messages as we go. All right, let's see here.
That's funny. I didn't know that he was sending you Steam messages. Is he being funny or is he being a baby?
I mean, he's angry.
Yeah, but like, how is that different than the usual?
Yeah, he's pretty much always angry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn this death from above skill.
That's a fun one. If an underused one, it's very rare that you actually get to use that.
Yeah, so that's the reason I haven't touched it yet. Or the reason I haven't learned it yet is I feel like there are not going to be a lot of opportunities where this happens.
It's very rare. It's like I feel like the game purposefully wasn't setting you up for them with how rare it is. But there are a couple key moments where it's very useful to have, I will say.
Okay,
I don't know how you feel about sniper rifles. But that is 100% the way to go through this game, is with a sniper rifle. Yeah, it is.
I'm not a big sniper.
I am a big sniper, and maybe I'm biased in that way. But I've got like basically all the stat trees maxed out or the skill tree is maxed out, and it really is the most effective way is to like pick a spot and like pick people off and like learn to use some of the more powerful weapons long range. Like if you can get the flare gun and figure out how to accurately hit people from a far distance with that, it is like it raises hell. It's great.
The stupid deer was trying to run away into the water. Stupid deer.
Idiot deer doesn't even get that it's not programmed to go into the water. It can't swim. It's not allowed to.
Dr. Evilbones, are you still in the chat room? If Dr. Evilbones is still here, I want to get him on the Skype call. So let me know.
Who's Dr. Evilbones?
I've recorded with him before.
I may have heard his voice and just not known who he was.
He's a cool guy, but he does not like this game, and I would love to get him into Skype and talk with him about what his problem is.
There's a guy named Dre Vilbones.
Yeah, Dre Vilbones.
Is that the guy, Dre Vilbones?
Well, no, that's a different guy.
Okay.
I can see where you'd be mistaken.
Yeah.
It's understandable that you would mix those two up.
Mm-hmm. So, but is he good enough to get on the Skype thing?
Yeah, I will get him on after I finish this dumb mission.
Are you doing one of the race things? I've never done one of those.
This is a supply drop, not actual race.
Yeah, the supply drop. I've never done a single one of those. What is the benefit of doing those?
I think this thing is on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. That's bad.
That's super bad.
Well, I survived.
Yeah.
You just get cash, and as you know, you really need cash in this game.
Yeah, it's like a lot of times you go through this, you're really broke.
I parked this car on a fire, and now it. Oh,
okay.
Boy. Well,
parked on a fire.
let me just pull up Skype here.
I feel that was a stupid place to park.
You always act like this. You try finding a better spot to park. There's nowhere to park in this city.
You could just parallel park right up next to that canoe.
I hate parallel parking.
I know you hate parallel parking, but it's better than on top of a fire.
I disagree with that.
You know what? I see your point, and I think that we got to pick our battles. This isn't one that we should fight about. I think that just let bygones be bygones. We'll get a new car.
That's why I like you
more
we're not
than
hurting your cousin. Is he wouldn't stop fighting about this? But we can come to an understanding.
Dude, you blew up that car and it was sick.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
So that's what I'm saying. I blew up that car. It was sick. What's not to like about this game?
Also, it's pronounced Drevel Bonus.
Ah, see, we were both wrong.
I was way off.
So what? No, seriously though. Let's talk. Why do you hate this game?
Why do you hate fun?
I don't know if people want to hear me.
Well, I think it would be interesting to get your thoughts on it. Like, even if obviously we've made our feelings known that we are pretty into this.
And I totally get, especially later in the game, why people would decide that they don't like this game. But I feel like there's so much fun up until that point that if that's not your reason, then I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the reason I didn't dig it would end up being very spoilery. So.
Yes. It wouldn't be a spoiler to say that all the stuff that you like in the story and all the stuff that you'll continue to like for the next few hours kind of disintegrates and turns into like a big pile of potential energy mush. And you're about to get totally
potential energy mush? That sounds delicious.
Yeah, well, no, because there's kinetic energy souffle, and that's when a game capitalizes on all of its promises. Sure. And then there's potential energy mush, where the greatness you see at the beginning bursts in the oven and becomes an unedible pile of goop.
Potential energy mush is my favorite energy drink.
Yeah, it's really it gives me shaky hands, so I try not to drink it too often. But it really.
I limit myself to 3 a day.
But that lime and peach
boosts
flavors,
my boat.
So it's good stuff.
Lime peach is always where they go. I kind of like that. I kind of like I like the regular lemon, and then also they have a crayon lemon.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
We're talking about Potential Energy Mush, the great new energy drink from whatever company makes energy drinks.
This stream brought to you by Potential Energy Mush.
And Behringer mics.
No,
I believe they're brewed by Royal Crown, actually.
I have heard from a lot of people that the story falls apart, so I'm kind of expecting that. You know, I saw a couple of the stories where the writer was going around in interviews defending it, but I tried not to read them because I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so is that the primary reason that you're not a fan?
That definitely contributes. Go read that stuff, those interviews with the writer, after you've finished it.
Is the writer a big douche?
I don't know.
Oh,
He's
boy.
trying to do some stuff, and
Oh, he's one of those guys. He's one of those doers.
he's a
Yeah.
doer.
He's a doer.
And I don't think this game does.
So that is
Basically.
the impression I've gotten. Is that
That's what I mean. Is that it seems like it's going to do, but then it doesn't.
Yeah, but it also gets very... Oh, man, I don't know. I can't really talk about it anymore without
But do you,
everyone
do you think
often
that,
spoiling the whole game.
do you think that
Kyle in the chat room now says 1.5 years of videos with Keith, basically nothing. 15 minutes here, kinetic energy souffle. You see what happens when you have a positive
Listen,
influence?
Kyle, you just don't bring up my muse.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, on to non-spoilery stuff that I didn't like. This is the Nick bitches about everyone's favorite game hour.
My favorite.
Yeah. I found a lot of the stuff that the activities that we're doing just got really hollow also for me.
Okay, I feel that. They haven't gotten hollow for me yet, and I've put a lot of time into the game, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of pacing myself between like the actual story stuff and the side stuff. But I also haven't touched the game in a couple weeks, so.
Well, it's tough too, though, because they hold back so much stuff in gameplay terms based on your progression through the story.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
true.
kept me moving through the story and hating myself and hating
Like you mean
the
the
game.
skill? You mean like the skill tree?
The skill tree, but also like the wingsuit and other stuff. I can't think of any other examples.
Wait, hold on. When the fuck do you get a wingsuit?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's so
Whoa.
much stuff that they
There's a
hold back.
wingsuit?
Yeah,
That's
somebody in the chat was bringing that up as well.
That's the
That
reason I
is-
own Crackdown 2. I love wingsuits.
You've always been a wingsuit enthusiast.
I've always been a wingsuit guy. Yeah, I like when they had that wingsuit advocacy month. I turned my Twitter avatar green, and I really meant it.
Jumping on planes with your wingsuits, drinking your hyperkinetic energy slush.
And yeah,
Just living an extreme life over there.
I'm like, and I wouldn't describe myself this way, but other people have called me a baller.
I've called you that before.
Phil's called me a baller. Phil's called me a baller. Danny DeVito's called me a baller in response to a fan email that he sent.
Vice President Joe Biden?
Joe Biden's called me a baller, but sarcastically.
Oh, that was sarcastic?
That was sarcastic.
I didn't hear it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he tweeted later that day that he was like, I called at something dumb a baller earlier. I just want everyone to know that it was sarcastic.
You know what though? Like that was probably partially he was just covering his tracks because there were some constituents who were not pleased.
I voted for Biden. Wasn't even on the ballot. I wrote him in. I wrote in Biden.
Understandably,
Yeah,
he was the right candidate.
I know he's the right candidate, and it's also I think he looks like a grandpa, and I trust him.
Half-empty energy tank says, "Hey Nick, would you say that you are tired of the genre, and if so, did that have anything to do with your dislike towards the game?"
No.
You hate
In
shooters.
fact, I was very much super looking forward to this game, because I was one of those weirdos that loved Far Cry 2.
Oh yeah, so I think that a lot of the people who are not liking this game might be Far Cry 2 fans.
Yeah.
Because this
That
definitely
sounds
doesn't quite
true.
do the same stuff as Far Cry 2.
No.
Both positive and negative. Like Far Cry 2 had a lot of weaknesses that this game gets past.
True. But The thing that I found the most interesting about Far Cry 2, and the thing that this game, like just on a fundamental like story and other gameplay aside, just like the fundamental philosophy of the two games are completely opposed. Where Far Cry 2 put you in this really oppressive environment, and you felt awesome when you achieved stuff anyways. Whereas in this game is nothing but just building upon more and more and more power fantasy.
Let's take a second to note that these guys don't know how to drive a boat.
No, they're the worst. I think that they're just having fun out there. They're supposed to be patrolling. They had a couple drinks, and now they're just like, let's do fucking donuts in the lake.
Which I understand.
Can you do a donut in a boat? I know that's specifically a car thing, but
let's say yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say something about what Dr. Evil Bones said. What's your real name, so I don't have to say that?
Nick is my real name.
Okay, yeah. Not that I dislike saying it, it's just that I will keep forgetting because I keep wanting to say Dreville Bones.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a dumb. I've had that name for ever now, so okay, I can't get rid of it.
That's most of the internet.
That's my real name. Nick is my handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. The internet's been around for so long that it's just a bunch of people that wish they had a different handle.
Yeah, kind of.
Neuter McBrohan says, Anthony Birch says that Far Cry 2 is an interesting game, whereas Far Cry 3 is a fun game.
That makes sense. I can kind of
see that. Like,
I played like 5 hours of Far Cry 2 and was really interested in playing more, and then didn't.
Yeah, that's exactly my same experience. 100% my experience with Far Cry 2, and it's always been on my I should probably go back to that game.
Yeah,
but I don't know if or when I ever will.
It's like there wasn't ever a time where I wasn't saying, "Wow, this is really cool," and then after I was done, I was still saying, "Wow, that was really cool. I should have more cool times with Far Cry 2," and then I never did, and now I kind of don't want to.
Yeah. And I don't blame anyone for that, if for no other reason than the biggest weakness with Far Cry 2 was the lack of, any kind of progression in the game.
Yeah, and this game has so much progression in every way possible that I get why that could be frustrating. Where Far Cry 2 is a way harder game where it constantly feels like there's more against you, and in this game. Right. It kind of feels that way at the very beginning, but then you start taking over territory and getting all these free guns and all this money, and you're
in this game, when you take stuff over, dudes never come back, right?
Never come back.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas that was one of the things people both loved and hated in Far Cry 2 is you were never really safe. You were always you took over a place, or you would clear out a place and then dudes would respawn 10 minutes later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was just endless enemies from what I remember. And also, man, that game looked really good, too. There was a lot of really cool tech in that game. The fire in this game looks amazing, but it doesn't even hold a candle to the Far Cry 2 fire. If I remember.
If we're rating games based on fire, Far Cry 2
do.
Yes. Your patented flame scale.
My flame scale. This game gets 8 matches.
8 matchsticks.
8 matchsticks. This game gets 8 matchbooks and then 2 of those really long campfire matches.
Sure.
And then a stormlighter.
Those are good. Those are great.
Those are really nice. I have my friend from Russia brought me back when he went to visit a butane torch shaped like a pistol.
Nice.
Yeah. So this game gets one of those too.
Let's see if I can Skyrim up here. Skyrim up this mountain pass.
That's one of those things that you always see in movies, but I never actually would have expected to be a thing that existed.
What, butane torches shaped like guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Apparently they sell them in Russia, and your friend Vlad will get one for you probably.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to give Vlad a call.
Yeah.
Do you hang around outside of bars a lot and offer to give people lights?
No, that'd be dangerous. I think there's no orange tip on it because it's from another country. I mean, it doesn't look like a. It looks
Also,
like
I guess it's a
gun, but
butane.
yeah,
It's not a lighter.
it doesn't. It doesn't look like a real gun, unless you're from like 1705, and then it looks super real.
Sure.
It's like a weird, it's like a pirate gun, basically.
There's another thing I really love about Far Cry 2 that is not a thing that should be loved about Far Cry 2, and that's everyone in the game talks ridiculously fast and takes no pauses for breath ever.
That's similar to something that I love about this game that I shouldn't love about this game, is that everybody has like a different accent, and you're on this weird island
Yeah.
that is basic. Like everybody has either an Australian accent or a South American accent. It doesn't make any sense.
That's apparently on purpose.
That's on purpose? Okay.
Yeah.
So it is something that I'm supposed to love about it, because it seems very charming.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to take this guy down?
Well,
You totally not do that.
You'll see.
All right, there you go.
You'll see
You
what
should
happens.
get you should get the skill where you can like you take their knife out and take down another guy with their knife. That's a good one. That one comes in handy.
That sounds crazy. Where is that? I don't think I've unlocked that yet. As a
Yeah,
possible.
you take down a guy and then you press another button and it takes his knife out of his pocket and throws it at another guy.
That sounds really awesome.
Yeah, there's a skill that leads from that where you take out their gun and then shoot like a bunch of guys. It's great.
I would like both of these.
Yeah. See, this game's great. Far Cry 2, you just shoot guys and run over stuff with the weird wonky car handling.
Was the car handling different in Far Cry 2 than in this? I
No,
don't
it
remember.
was kind of the same. It was like the same thing, but like more drifty.
It's way more exaggerated in this one.
Yeah, it's more drifty and weird, but in a way that kind of makes it a little more fun.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this game isn't really... they're not really cars so much as
Carts.
kinetic crash
Yeah,
machines.
yeah,
We've used the word kinetic way too many times
That's true.
for me to be comfortable.
Far Cry 2, there was a bunch of potential crash machines. In here, they're really using that potential, turning it into kinetic crash energy to power our ovens that make the kinetic game souffles.
You sound like a future game designer
Thanks.
that I will really not be interested in reading interviews from.
I'm really into kinetic